Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so very much for joining me. This is Weekend Updates, and in Weekend Updates I tell you about what's going on in my craft room, what I've been working on, maybe show you things that didn't quite make it into a regular video, but my subscribers have said that they like these Weekend Updates videos, so we're going to keep them going. If you're looking for a structured video or a tutorial, this isn't it. But if you just want to see some fun stuff and hear me ramble, hang around. As far as little things I worked on this week, I picked up this paper pad quite a while ago. I think I got it at Lost and Found Crafts in Olympia, Washington. It's a creative reuse store. It's vintage looking paper that's single-sided and thin. Thin paper is really nice for making envelopes. I mean, you can use any paper, but thin paper is nice. So I made a whole bunch of small envelopes to decorate, to use as tip outs in journals, maybe to put into pockets or tuck spots in journals, whatever. Now, one thing that I found is ideally you wouldn't use directional paper when you make envelopes. But what I did was I turned it sideways. It's 6 by 6. So instead of having it be right side up on one side and upside down on the other, I just turned it sideways so the whole thing was that way. And I don't know if that makes a lot of sense if you're a new crafter, but here's an example where I didn't get it quite right. This way it's right side up, but when you flip it on the back, it's upside down. So I didn't turn the paper sideways. So just an idea, if you only have directional paper, you can maybe go sideways. It might not work as well with animals or trees, but in something like this where it's font, sure, we don't mind sideways font. Before I show you that clearly I had a little trouble and fell off the wagon today, I want to tell you what's going on this week. This week on Tuesday, I'm going to have a video come out that's a behind the scenes look at Smash Our Stash. So all these crazy embellishment clusters and stuff, I'm going to show you how I made them and the mess that led me to them. I'm not going to show you all the die cutting that I did because that's boring. I showed you the scraps, you know I use scraps. But I will show you a little bit of how I went through because it just seems like it all came out perfectly, and it was probably at least a week or so of a mess in my front room, which Mr. Crafting and Relaxing does not love. So that's on Tuesday. Wednesday, the 12th, I think it's Wednesday, that's Joya Blue. And I'll give you a peek at what I have going for Joya Blue. You're not going to be impressed with my progress. Let me just tell you that. Then I was going to show you how to make shakers. I think we'll have a video about this on Friday because I told Nancy I would try and fit it into updates, but today we have too much. You may have seen on the front of a couple of my different journals, I'll try and find some pictures and insert them if I can, I put shakers on them. And these are not shakers where you spend an hour fiddling with foam and it all has to fit together perfectly, and if you don't get it perfect, it leaks out. No. These are easy. What I use is tulle. Dollar Tree sells it. Some of you might have it from decorating for weddings. This is a roll that I think I got at Dollar Tree. Yeah, and I've been working on the same roll forever, so you just need one. If you have any color, that's okay too. It could be light blue, you know, because I like blue. Just about anything. I've seen some that have a cool pattern of gold. That would work great too. If you want to play along on Friday, or you want to start thinking about supplies to get ready for when you see that video, find yourself a cut apart that you would like to have on a card, a tag, or the front of a journal. Get some tulle and some shaker bits. And your shaker bits could be tiny die cuts. They could be tiny baby buttons. They could be sequins, not glitter, because when you use tulle, we don't use glitter. I'm going to use my sewing machine to sew it together. I think you could glue it. It's going to be a little harder, and you would need probably something like Fabri-Tac to do it, something gooey and clear. But I will show you just real quick on Friday how I do those and what I use. The other thing you probably want is another layer of cardstock, maybe, or specialty paper to go behind it. So if I was going to use this one, I'd probably stamp something cute here, and then I'd get myself a blue cardstock to accent behind it. This one would be cute. It would just be smaller. This one would be good. This one would need something stamped on it for interest. I wouldn't glue a die cut to it because my shaker bits would stick. This one, your shaker bits are going to pile in the bottom, so keep that in mind. You don't want a card where all your decoration is down here, but maybe you're going to stamp beautiful flowers or do some sort of sketch or drawing. These might be super cute. You could stamp something right here, and then it could be a shaker on the front of your journal, whatever. Echo Park and Photo Play and lots of those brands have cut aparts in almost every 12 by 12 collection pack. So you could find one of these. A pinwheel would be a super fun one. I do try and avoid like this, where it has the font all the way to the bottom and the decoration down there, because we're going to sew right around this edge, and I'm not that good. Maybe you are. Okay, so we'll do that Friday. Nancy, you can gather your supplies, and I'll try and make it like an actual slow talk you through tutorial and show you a couple examples. Today, here's what happened. I had Joya Blue all set out. I got up early. I was goofing off. I just thought today was going to be magical. It wasn't raining. It has been here in the Pacific Northwest. I live in Oregon if you're new here. It has been raining unnatural amounts. We're on a flood watch. The wind has been ridiculous. Today I woke up, there was no rain. I filled 2 buckets worth of leaves and junk just from near my kitchen window, you know, when you look out and it's pouring rain, and thought, I'm going to tidy that up. It was amazing. What I didn't do was actually work on Joya Blue because I thought I had all day. Then Mr. Crafting and Relaxing said, hey, I want to go to Beaverton and look at something. Now, my friends, if you watch my channel, you have heard me speak of Whimzees. I'll put it on the screen because the spelling's a little interesting. Whimzees in Beaverton, Oregon. Whimzees, which also has Paper Parachute right next door to it. I mean, this is a parking lot that you could spend hours there. I mean, maybe put snacks in the car and hit the car in between. Whimzees has as much scrapbooking selection as a store you would have gone into in the 90s, but it has all the modern stuff too. So paper selection galore, dies, embellishments. I literally said before I went there, I don't need embellishments. I don't need embellishments. Okay, but I do. It is a wonderful, wonderful store. Then Paper Parachute next to it is just as fun, a little more mixed media journal making tilt. So one store is more card making, scrapbooking, everything you could possibly need, but still pace and goodness and plenty for mixed media people if there wasn't another store around. And then the store next door has different brands of paper, different products, stencils, paste, ink. I mean, they're both wonderful. I texted Andrea and Noni and said, hey, I'm going to Whimzees. Any orders? And I already gave Noni her stuff, but let me show you what I picked up for Andrea. She is a green and purple fan. And when I saw this, I was like, I wonder if she knows of this. Memory Box is, I think, a Pacific Northwest company. Their dyes and stuff. The paper is made in China, but I do think we're supporting a Pacific Northwest company here. I could be wrong. Then on the inside, look at this. I don't know if the video will do it justice. Maybe with my new lights you can see better. It has gold foiling in these plaids. And if your favorite colors are green and purple, literally those are her 2 favorite colors, then your friend should definitely not walk past this. And look, if she doesn't want this, oh my gosh, I'm taking that and that and that. It's delicious. One side of each piece of paper has gold, and then the other side doesn't. And I guess it's kind of like the A side they assume you use, but you could also use this one without it. I just thought this was luscious. I think there was only one. I sent her a text and she said, yes, please. So I picked that up for Andrea. Then she had asked me about Consortium Craft. And I think I have heard of this brand, but I hadn't seen this paper line. These are called ink drops. This one was at Paper Parachute, which is the one next door to Whimsy, and they only had this 6x6, but they do have the new ones coming. There are products where the whole package is blue like this. Oh, yes. And green. They're just not in yet. So let me give you a peek at this. It is open, and it has, I think I would call that gold. It's not fully metallic, but it definitely has some gold look to it. I don't know that it's truly metallic. These papers, you can do your own alcohol inks, you can do all kinds of stuff, but it is fun sometimes to just grab somebody else's and play with it and see where the day takes you. And I think this paper pad is super inspirational. I was thinking about maybe if they're just solely blue pages, I should take them. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so much color. See, look at that one. Maybe she wants me to have that one. And it's 40 double-sided sheets. I mean, that's a pretty sturdy pad. So I really liked that one. Look at that. That's a lot of color for me though. Whew. Okay, so I think those are the two things that I picked up for Andrea. Then I recently opened my first pack of Cathie Pooler paper. If you recall, when this came out, I bought 2 of them right away. I hadn't opened it. I was still hanging on to it and hoarding it. And it is thick. Listen. It's thick and wonderful and super smooth texture. I was so impressed that I thought, wow, I probably want to pick up some more of her paper. So I looked online a little and I saw this one and I thought, how do I not have this? I mean, if you know me, I need to own this piece of paper or this paper pack. But then I thought, well, do I really need to order more winter paper? My amount that I have is ridiculous. When I bumped into it today, I thought it was a sign. So I brought this home and I'm just going to put it in my winter papers. Now, if you were someone who didn't have a big stash, you could easily pull out this super cute polka dot right here and this stripe and this one, and maybe even one of these that's snowflake-ish and use them now. I don't need to do that because I have plenty of spring papers that I want to get to and butterflies and all sorts of things. But just because it's a snowflake paper pack doesn't mean you can't use it in March. Or I guess some of you have snow in March. I don't, but June. How about that? So anyway, if you haven't checked out the Cathie Pooler paper, you might want to. I think this would be nice for die cutting even. I mean, it's pretty sturdy. So I picked that one up, and then embellishments, I just couldn't help it. These are Hobby Art International Supply. I've seen this brand before. I may already have some. It's quite possible that it is not made in the US like Cathie Pooler's paper, but embellishments, you guys, I just can't handle them. I just have to have them all. Little snowflakes. I'm going to put these in my stuff for next year. And how cute will these be with the honeybee stamps, little blue and white stars, and then the snowflakes. And these are very thin and very small, so I think they'll be good to mail. And I have paw prints that are brown, but I don't have black and white paw prints, so I had to pick these up too. Noni, if you want some, let me know. Okay. It has come to my attention that I do not have a good set of oval dies. I have this set, which I believe is Spellbinders. By the time you take out the ones that you can actually get a sentiment on, you're usually left with these 2. And they're kind of fat. Do you know what I mean? They're just, I don't know. I don't love them. And I can't really layer because very often my sentiment has to have that one. So I was looking for the Hero Arts Infinity sets. Whimzees had a really amazing sale about a week ago, probably an inventory clean out sale. There were no ovals. They were gone, but she'll get more in. And in the meantime, I picked up this Polka Doodles set of ovals. I think these will be really cute. And then Noni got a different set of ovals, a different brand. I think Elizabeth Craft. So we have 2 different sets of ovals now to play with. And I think these will work a little better. When you're shopping, sometimes you think an oval is an oval. But if you have a long sentiment, you want to get the length that this first one has and then see those, and then you'd have lots of room to layer. I'm going to try these out, and if I find that I'm not using these, then I'll donate or downsize. I don't want to have a bunch of the same. I just thought it was funny. I have tons and tons of stars, but I have a hard time finding layering dies to use for my sentiments. And I really liked this set because look, this is a plain die, and then this one is a little dotted die, and then plain, and then dotted. I also like those fluted ones that Christy Marcotte shared a while ago. and I'd like to tell you who they're from. It might be Spellbinders. I don't recall, my apologies. But if you look for fluted oval dies, you'd probably see them. Those were pretty cool too. And those were actually on the We Were Seeking These Out list. I picked up a Thinking of You. This is made in China, but it's a UK company. It's tiny. I have the happy birthday of this, and I'm surprised at how much I like it and use it, because I thought it might be kind of fiddly. But, you know, I just have a love-hate relationship with birthday dies and birthday cards, so I'm always trying. But look at this, and I'll show you what my happy birthday looks like. I'll try and show you in two that match, but that's not going to happen. Let's see. Happy. Okay, you can get kind of close. So there's the happy birthday one. It's not what I call a fiddly die. It doesn't have a bunch of pieces. It doesn't frustrate me to put it together. So I have high hopes for this one. The happy birthday cuts very nicely on my sidekick. I don't have any troubles with it. So I think the Thinking of You will be nice. Small dies like this are great for people who want to have big embellishments on their cards, decorations, ephemera. If you're into coloring, you can just as easily use a little stamp. You don't have to have dies. I might be sentiment die obsessed. I recognize that. Let's talk paper. This is Bo Bunny's Secret Garden. I know this collection's been out a long time. I never ran into it at Tuesday morning. Today I saw this paper and thought of Andrea. So if she wants it, it's hers. If she doesn't want it, I'm keeping it. This one is Nature Lover Collection. Beautiful foliage. It's a Prima paper. And it is a bit of a violet. Are we going to call it blue? Or are we going to call it purple? I got it for me, Andrea, just so you know. I think it's blue. And I really like it. And I like the gold in it. I don't have a project in mind. This is just, you know, sometimes you see a piece of paper and you think you need to come home with me. That's what that one was. These are all butterfly papers that I in no way needed, but I thought they would be great for a butterfly journal. And I can see that there will be more than one now. It's starting to happen. What I tried to do was look for ones that were light on the back so that they could be written on the other side in a journal. But then these two were blue, so I bought them anyway. I know, just telling you my crazy logic. And it's not all from the same collection. Whimzees has a section of butterflies and a section of, I think it was bees. And they do some stuff where it's themed by scrapbooking things, you know, weddings, that kind of thing. It's just, the selection is unbelievable. So when you walk past a rack of butterfly papers, you think, oh, I want some of those. Okay, let's talk about Joya Blue. This is what I've got going on for Joya Blue. I got out my Cathie Pooler paper and I started laying it out and playing with it. And then I borrowed this gorgeous Gina K stamp set from Noni. And it has a little tiny stamp here that says, may this be a year of, and you can use happiness, wonder, and I borrowed it for fearless joy. How great is that? Just don't be afraid and have fun. That's a wonderful sentiment. Then this is a Merry Christmas set from Gina K that I had seen online. It has a Happy New Year. I like the font of the Happy New Year. I would have liked the Happy Holidays to be capitalized. I love the stars. I think I'm going to do something fun with this and these blues. I have blue ink from Cathie Pooler that goes with this. And then I also picked up the Cathie Pooler Something Borrowed. Now, I got all this Cathie Pooler stuff at Whimzees quite a while ago when it first came out. It just gives you even more of a glimpse into the amount of product that she stocks in there. I mean, the inks and everything. Absolutely wonderful. Whimzees is about 40 minutes from the Portland airport, PDX. So you keep that in mind if you're in the Portland area. It's, I don't know what time it is. It's Wilson's nap time. Yep, 7:37. He's done. I'm probably not going to get a lot more done tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to work on Joy of Blue, and I need to get some Happy Mail cards out. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to work on a UFO, unfinished object, or if I'm going to dive right into butterfly journals. My goals say that I will work on an unfinished object every month. The reality is I might start the butterfly journals, but let me show you my room. Okay, that counter is a hot mess. Now, in my defense, I just did that because I was looking for cut-aparts to show you guys. And then that's Joy of Blue. I don't know. Oh, I was looking in there for cut-aparts to show you guys too for shakers. So my room would definitely need some work. before I start the butterfly journals. And I think I have to catch up on my happy mail and thank yous first, for sure. And you can tell I haven't quite finished moving back in and setting all up and figuring out what's going to go on my shelves. So we'll have to see. But I'm having a great time. I'm certainly enjoying my new lights. I hope all of you are doing well, getting some positive energy from your crafting and staying healthy. I know Cathie was sick this week, but I just hope that everybody is taking good care of themselves. Get yourself some tea and do some crafts. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.